Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about the best way to learn ESL. Now when I say ESL, I'm talking about English as a second language. Or this video can be seen as the best way to learn any foreign language if you wanted to. Now I've been teaching English here in Korea for quite a while, and the question that I get most often asked by parents and people wanting to speak better English is, Justin, what's the best way to learn English? And this is a good question because, every year parents and people spend thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars on ESL education, wanting themselves or their children to speak English like a native speaker, such as myself. So before I answer this question, let me ask you a question now. What is the best way to learn how to swim? Is what I ask you. Now most people would say, oh, the best way to learn how to swim is to take swimming lessons at your local swimming pool and spend a few months there, and then boom, you learn how to swim. Well, I can say yes and no to that, and I have done that, and I am a lifeguard, but I can tell you that swimming in a swimming pool is totally different from swimming in an ocean. Now, if you've ever swam in an ocean, it's a completely different environment, right? There are so many external factors that you cannot take into account when you swim in the ocean. For example, the water temperature, waves, your clothes that you're wearing if it's an emergency, right? The weather, dangerous conditions or objects floating around you. Take into account all of these things, and this is a real world environment. And speaking real English, in my opinion, is like swimming in an ocean. It is totally unrehearsed, sporadic, and it's not something that you can look into a book and find the question to, and you turn to the next page and you find the answer, right? The correct answer. It's not like that, right? And if you want to speak real English, in my opinion, if you want to swim, you have to jump into the water completely, right? You cannot step foot in a swimming pool and learn in a simulated environment like that, right? That's fine for training wheels, but if you want the real deal, you have to jump into the ocean, in my opinion. Now let me give you some examples of this analogy, right? I've come across hundreds of ESL students over the years, and I've met lots of really poor speakers and some really good speakers, right? Now, what makes the really good speakers, right? Well, most of them I find generally attend international schools. Now, international school is a 24-hour English speaking environment in countries such as France, Germany, wherever around the world, right? This is a school and environment where kids are forced to speak English all the time, right? So I generally find that these students with this kind of background speak better English than the local students, right, who have never studied abroad. Now, let me give you another example, right? In Korea, we have yuhaksengs, right? A yuhakseng is a overseas student, or a student that goes abroad and studies in a foreign country for a year or so, right? And some of them have come back and they speak really good English, and some of them have come back and they speak really poor English still. Now you're asking me, oh, well, what happened there? Right? Well, let me tell you, it's like some of these students that study abroad, it depends on their motivation factor, right? The ones that generally don't improve are the ones that stay in their comfort zone, right? They stay in their Koreatowns and they hang out with friends from their own country. They speak their own native language in a foreign country, right? And they generally don't improve. Whereas other students that go abroad and they take that jump into the water, right? They make new international friends. They start practicing their English more often because they're meeting new people, and they're leaving their old habits behind, right? They're trying not to speak Korean and just trying to speak more English every day, right? So that isn't a good example of what I'm saying you have to submerge yourself in the proper environment to learn better English, right? Now, you're asking me like, oh, what about like ESL books, or listening CDs, or watching movies, or making English-speaking friends? Well, to go back to the swimming pool analogy, right? These are good tools to help you learn to speak English, right? But again, it's a simulation, right? There's so much you can learn from that, but the end goal, if you want to speak really good English, speak real English, is that you have to transgress from the swimming pool to the ocean, right? That should be your end goal, right? All these other things that I mentioned, these are just tools to help you along your way, right? But if you really want to get to that end goal where you're speaking real English like a native speaker, then you have to go jump into the ocean, is what I'm talking about. And that is my advice for today. Now, if you like or dislike anything I've said, please leave a comment down below, and subscribe if you like my channel. And this good, nice little thing over here is my CD, and if you want to have a listen to it, you can go over to www.justinpatrick.net and have a listen for free. You can download it for free. And that's it for today. And I wish you a pleasant evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Alright, take care. Bye-bye.